A WWE star undergoes surgery. Plus, TNA are teasing a surprise debut at Rebellion. And Sheamus responds to fat shaming following his WWE return. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. We are sending our best wishes to LWO's Cruz del Toro. He is out of action for the time being, as he revealed on Instagram.
Yeah, so he said that he's undergone surgery, and in the post he says, a special thank you to Dr. Mikion, if I pronounced that correctly, hopefully I have, and the team at Birmingham Surgery Centre for their care. The surgery was a success. Thank you for your messages of support and good wishes. I will be back soon and better than ever. Like someone said, today is day one. Del Toro actually, though, didn't reveal what he'd undergone surgery for, but he's wearing a cast on his left arm, so insinuating he's had something there.
So his foot. Basically.
Of course, yeah.
Send in best wishes.
Absolutely.
I think there's a key role that LWO play on WWE TV, and generally, like the work in that faction has been really fun. Mm-hmm. And Cruz del Toro, whilst he doesn't have obviously we've seen Whacking Wild get a lot of love for not only for being an excellent wrestler, but also that springboard
dive.
Yes,
it's ridiculous.
So Cruz del Toro kind of gets lost in the shuffle, but I think he's a really solid part of that group.
Yeah, no, we see it consistently on SmackDown in the tag team matches that they have. Perhaps the audience doesn't sort of reciprocate it sometimes, when we're watching, and maybe the excitement's not there, but maybe it's because we just need more of them on TV for them to finally get there. But they are tremendous, and obviously it comes, I'm guessing, at a bit of a, it's always a rubbish time anyway, but I feel like things are starting to really get going in that storyline, because I do feel like Carlito's going to turn heel soon.
No,
and they could do with the numbers advantage, on the old LWO side of things, if Carlito is perhaps turning. But nothing but the best to Cruz del Toro. Hope he gets better soon.
We're seeing an NXT star popping up at Reality of Wrestling No Limits next month. Lexis King, aka Brian Pillman Jr., is going to head over to ROW. This is the promotion run by Booker T. And over the last year or so, we've seen stars like Ivy Nile, Trick Williams, Charlie Dempsey popping up from NXT over there. So it kind of comes at a time where WWE stars are starting to test the water a little bit more with doing shows outside of the WWE bubble. We know that ROW has hosted quite a few NXT guys over the past few years, but it's an ongoing thing to see. I like the idea of your NXT guys, your WWE guys that aren't as utilized, getting some momentum and getting some miles elsewhere.
I think that's it, getting some momentum and I guess as well, just getting a little bit of time to sort of develop your craft as well at the same, which is never a bad thing, is it really?
Never a bad thing. If you want to pop along and see me, he's at the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena with ROW No Limits on May the 11th. TNA presenting Rebellion tomorrow night. Busy weekend of the wrestling. Dynasty on Sunday and Rebellion tomorrow night. Last night on Impact, we saw a little 20-second video that teased something this way coming. The words "lights out" appeared on there. We had shots of spooky woods. We had shots of people's faces. Ooh. We had 4 silhouettes next to a fire. And I went, oh, it's a faction. And then I realized that silhouette video there, that's from Pond 5. It's stock footage.
Oh, gosh darn it.
It's the debut of Pond 5.
Woo! What a faction name. The Pond 5.
The Pond 5.
I like it.
You know who their manager is, don't you?
Frogger.
No, I wish it was Frogger. It's either Frogger or that old man with the nervous smile with a cup of tea.
I do like that guy as well.
He's
great.
Cool. He's great, and it's going to be him. He's managing them as well. This is so. In amongst the footage, you see the Rebellion logo and you see lights out, and TNA on their website have advertised a lights out surprise for Rebellion tomorrow. Let speculation run wild.
Oh man, there's so much speculation, I guess, isn't there? They love doing the spooky stuff. Obviously, they love killing wrestlers off as well.
They love killing wrestlers off.
Maybe it's someone coming back. I did see in the post that some people were hoping for Ali to come back, which would be kind of cool to see.
So because obviously the Bunny Money no longer part of AEW's plan, so why not bring Ali back from the dead for TNA? I thought maybe Eric Rowan, because we have shots of the woods, we have a shot of a spider.
The spider. Oh God, I'd forgotten about that.
The reason I'm not as leaning towards that is because obviously Eric Rowan recently has said that due to new contractual obligations, he can't take on some other indie bookings. I think even if he was hired to a TNA deal, I don't think it would stop him taking other independent bookings. I don't think. And obviously, with the Uncle Howdy stuff that's started to bubble over in WWE, there's a lot of people connecting him to that. So maybe that. Possibly Matt Hardy. The return of broken Matt Hardy has been somewhat teased. He's a free agent now, and there's been talk of him having conversations with numerous outlets, including WWE. Maybe he goes back where it all began.
Maybe he did. I mean, he did share the tease, though, as well, of the Bray Wyatt stuff, didn't he?
He did.
Uncle Howdy stuff. I guess maybe I'm way over my head in this one, right? But I mean, with the stuff that's happening or has happened between WWE and TNA, sort of like little partnerships here and there, could there be some sort of crossover somewhere? I'm not sure. I might just be throwing
some sort of spooky crossover.
Yeah, I don't know.
Judgment Day turning up.
Yeah,
Send them across.
Yeah.
Sanity is another one that's been mentioned, because obviously Eric Young is in the Full Metal Mayhem match with Frankie Kazarian, and Eric Young, the leader of Sanity, and Sanity have been doing stuff on the independent scene, particularly with Progress as of late, where I believe they're now Progress Tag Team Champions. So you could get the gang back together in TNA as well. That could possibly happen. We're gonna have to wait and see for tomorrow night at TNA Rebellion, emanating from Las Vegas. Also on the show for tomorrow, the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions Spitfire, Jody Threat and Danny Luna, defending the titles against Decay.
Yeah, we have Ace Austin and Chris Bay also. Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Leon Slater. Whoa, my goodness gracious me versus the Rascals.
Get in
That's
there.
exciting.
Oh, for that one. That's going to be a wild one on the Countdown show. Joe Hendry, who has been a social media menace. More so than ever in the last few weeks.
It's been tremendous to see. So much love for him though as well, and rightly so
and
too.
He's facing Rich Swann in his ongoing feud with him and AJ Francis.
We've got a last man standing match between Josh Alexander versus Hammerstone. My goodness.
You can get to know Hammerstone this morning on the Cultaholic podcast feed. He's our guest on Desert Island Graps. We had a chat about Hammerstone being in a band and his love for music.
What's he play?
Guitar.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I suggested that he could become a new Man Mountain Rock. He wasn't into that idea. He also shares his really boring food schedule at the moment.
And a rice cake.
Do you know what? He's nearly the fish and rice cake man. So nearly. Lovely to chat to Hammerstone, and he picked some of his favourite wrestling matches as well.
Nice.
So Hammerstone on the podcast feed right now if you want to check that out. Full Metal Mayhem between Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian. This could possibly be where we see the lights out surprise from TNA.
We have the TNA Tag Team Champions, the System, going up against Speedball Mountain as well.
TNA X Division title, Mustafa Ali puts it up against Jake something.
We have the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Jordan Grace versus Steph DeLander.
And Moose defends the TNA World title against Nick Nemeth. It's a packed show
It
by
is a
TNA.
stacked and packed show. You've got that, and then you've got Dynasty, which is also stacked and packed too. Exciting weekend of wrestling.
It's a busy weekend, culminating in a busy old week in wrestling where, amongst all the things that happened in wrestling this week, Sheamus returned on Monday Night Raw. He rocked up, hoofed Ivar's head off, gave us too many limes and lobster head. Good to have him back. But there was some negativity online for Sheamus's appearance. He's come back sporting a more barrel-chested, thick boy, meat planet persona.
Yes.
He initially responded to some of the negative tweets and some of the fat shaming that took place online by tweeting simply, "I'm just big boned." He then put out a longer reply online a few days later.
He did, yeah. He said, okay, take your best shots, Whalemas, too many pies, etc. And then we're done with the photoshopping and shaming. I was aiming for the draft and got an early call-up. My bad, on me. Been sleeping in the gym ever since, so watch this space. I appreciate the love too. Hashtag Sheamus.
I mean, what an interesting thing I've noticed is, and Jordan Grace said this as well, is all the people that are giving Sheamus grief for coming back a bit bigger, No profile pictures.
No, hiding behind.
Funny that, and they're
keyboards.
all funny that, and I imagine there'll be some jokes made down there by people that don't have their own picture in their profiles as well. I'm just putting that out there. And you know what? I say sod it, because people saying he's not in great shape. He can still go.
He isn't phenomenal. How can you not say that he's not in good shape? Because he really, really, really is. And also, everything that he's spoken about in the past as well, saying that, not that long ago, I thought I would have to hang up my boots. He's got to this point now, and it's an early call-up, as he just said there. He was aiming for the draft, but he got called up early. Still looks great.
Yeah.
How could you criticize him?
It's a weird misnomer where they go, oh, you're a bit bigger, therefore you must be out of shape. I'm going to put this out there, right? Okay, I'm a hefty boy. I ran a half marathon last Sunday in under 2.5 hours. Actually, tell a lie, 2 hours and 45. 2 hours and 55. I ran a half marathon.
It's so impressive. We were saying
I forgot the time I
really
stopped
impressive.
to eat a Greg's on the way.
Oh, of course.
But what the reason I'm saying that is that there is a real misnomer between being big and not being athletic and healthy and well, and that has to change. That really has to change. However Sheamus looks, he is a unit. The man, if you watch his flipping workout schedule on YouTube, even on his worst day, he would still kick 100 people's heads off.
Absolutely.
Myself and yourself included.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
No doubt. I could not last 2 seconds in a Sheamus workout.
No chance, Sundance. No chance. If the best thing that you've got to do today is reach out to a professional athlete and tell them that they are in a bad shape or make insults at them, you should probably find something else to do today. Maybe go outside. Maybe, I don't want to say touch grass because that's a really obvious thing to say. Maybe go out and just love yourself a little bit more. There's the thought. Just putting that out there into the world, because what the world needs now is love, sweet love. And we'll have more wrestling news throughout the day on Twitter at Cultaholic. Case.
Love you, bye.